Hi, YouTube. Sorry about that. I was thinking, is my pump gonna come on? It might because I have my dishwasher going. I think it's got enough water in there for the rinse cycle, but I don't know. If it does, we'll work through it. Um, I was on a live stream last night, and the dude, I'm not gonna mention names. It doesn't matter because people out there do it to everybody, and if they're working hard and they're actually doing a service for somebody, it doesn't really matter. But for me, for somebody to ask for money, personally, this is the first time in a very long time that I had any amount of money to even spend on myself or my grandkids. And I'm not jumping right in to make somebody else's world go around when I've spent decades trying to do that for myself, you know, and my offsprings and people around me, But for me to be shunned on a live stream because I'm not funding his reality, it's like, wow, do you deserve funding for your reality? You don't give a shit about people. I would word it differently. I'd be like, for those of you that can't afford something right now, thank you for being here. Maybe share, like, and others, if you can afford to, you find value in my work, I'd appreciate the funding or something to that effect. So, cheers, everybody. So then there was another experiment done in the ether yesterday. I'll tell you about that. It's really cool. Again, I'm not going to name any names, but this one was a happy event because people say they're talking to the universe. They say, like, oh, the universe helps them, or these people that are into witchcraft and magic, like they're drawing off of some planet or the universe, or there's one source or the other. So, being I know I'm a conduit of the good source, period, you know. So I'm just going to tell it like it is. So there's good source and a bad source on this live stream. And the bad source knows full well who I am. I know who he is. We're not going to step on each other's toes. He's working for the good side, but it doesn't appear like he is. So, and I can't prove that, and it doesn't matter anyway. So this is what happened. There's gifts that I can send people from God, believe what you want. And there's gifts that people can draw off of, but it's from the dark force. And when it's not done in the light, I'm fully aware of that, where it comes from. And when it's drawn off of the dark, um, if I don't know about it, then it came from the dark. You see what I'm saying? So, so this dude that makes music was saying that he got his inspiration from the female spirit, which was an out and out lie. And I could tell that he was Masonic at that time. And so could the person on that channel I was on. So we're like communicating in the ether why this dude is Masonically connected to other Masons or Eastern Star in a group. And I could hear all their minds, and so could the devil. So, like, Satan, the devil's laughing at him. It's like, wow, because he knew he had inspired that music and the female didn't because she stopped inspiring people. I pray for people, and I'm sure other people do too, to have the Spirit of God working through them. But they don't know God's dark side, and they think that everything's all happy-go-lucky with their drawing energies from the stars and the universe and rocks and candles and all this bullshit, you know. So anyway, it's not that it's not real, like you're not going to have any advanced help. It's just like, why would you want advanced help when you have it within yourself to do whatever you want and make things? I mean, you can't force your will upon another person, but you can um work in the boundaries of like-minded people, you know. It just depends on where you're drawing your energy from. You know, Satan thinks that's some funny shit when people are confused because of what happened to him, which people really do not understand. Um, okay, here's something too. I'm going to go into the genderless people in heaven or whatever. Once again, you and I cannot determine what a deity's body is anywhere else on another plane of existence. Um, Male and female have nothing to do with it, but it is part of their capabilities, and they're not genderless and they're not combined. But people are going to push it until God knows. And I heard something rather stupid, that the only place that the female could be separated from the male was here on this earth. And there's some more bullshit because she was created separate. Um, Even with the thought before her physical being was portrayed, she still was that feminine entity, that word, and separate, you know? So, whatever people want to say, whatever they want to do, but it is kind of extraordinary to see where people actually are drawing their. Excuse me, you get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get down. Look what you're doing. Dang it. Stay down. Sorry about that. My cat jumped up on my shelf in my closet and knocked down one of my sweaters, and I'll get it. I don't know if she's just looking for some place to sleep because I kicked her off. If I have a chair next to me where I'm sleeping, and she's was on it last night, and she doesn't belong on it. She has her own chair, her own bed. So anyway, I'll get back to what I was saying too about that dark energy and where people draw their inspiration, because when they lie, it's not that they're deceived. They know where they're getting their energy. They just made a indecision. Excuse me, people, with my language. There's some people it really bothers, and I'm not trying to bother you, hurt you, or upset you. It's just that if I get that upset, that is what I'm feeling inside, you know? It's like that's the opposition between the goodness and the not so good. Um, but even those deities don't step on each other. It's not that we haven't in the past, but with the understanding that who's working inside you or I on this plane of existence, that's who we are drawing our energies from, and the other is our foe in the flesh. Period. It's not, um, there's never been a separation between uh, I won't say light or dark, but I will say the male or female spirit's never been separated. It's had its struggles, but it's always been um, either peaceful or angry, depending on where you're drawing your energy from, you know? And there's times that I will draw on that darkness to be able to speak my mind in an angry manner that is really out of my character. But I draw from that other part inside myself. But there is a fine line within that too. I don't think it's free, you know. I don't wield it like a sword. Ooh, there was a, there's saying, I don't remember who said it. Let me see if I can look it up. I had it on my Facebook, I think. I think from yesterday there was this cool saying, if I can find it, or I'll try and remember it. Something about a swordsman. Hope I shared it. Maybe not. I'll have to search in my files of my head here, or file my head, one of the two. Let's see. I just wanted to see who had said it, you know, give credit. Hmm, something about not bringing your words to a sword fight. Oh, something about if you're gonna, um, like if you're going to approach a swordsman, pull your sword, you you're not a philosopher at that point, you know. In other words aren't going to work on a swordsman, you know. I wish I could find it exactly what that was. It was pretty cool. Nah, maybe not. But that was the gist of it. I just wished I had found the whole thing. Thought I shared it. Let me look in a message I had sent to Doug. Maybe I sent it to him. Or maybe not. Sure thought I did though. Hmm. That's what it was basically though. Yeah, when you approach a swordsman, you don't pull out your words, you pull out your sword. So, I mean, when I sent somebody's uh, drawing from the darkness, I watched this come over this dude's face yesterday, yesterday evening. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking I could use my will, and I'm not going to. I'm going to see what you're going to do impulsively, naturally, without a second thought. Because second thoughts are good when you're walking in truth and working with other people in the world. So you gotta choose your words, um, not deceptively so, but in consideration for people, you know. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I seen this blank fucking stare come over his face. It's like, oh, here we go, another one of them. Ooh, I'm like, I listened for a while until he said his crowd-funded shit, and I'm like, wow, so you draw from the dark and you want me to fund you? Oh, isn't that fundy? Yeah, I found it quite funny. Anyway, so what I do in that point, at that point, I use my will and ask our Father to bless him with what he deserves. and I let it go. And I went and watched something else. So there you go. That's how I pray, and that's what that's all about. And it is a real thing. And it's not that I'm trying to make anybody consider my feelings or my will, or actually strength that I give other people, inspiration and ideas and things that I will withdraw if that isn't respected. You'll have to draw from the darkness and it will cost you a part of your soul. Can you sell your soul? Bit by bit? You actually can in that respect, as far as having to learn lessons that you didn't learn prior when you were given the opportunity. So we had been through this type of thing before, this channel and I, and he sort of kind of backtracked on his stuff, and his life's not going the rosiest. He had a really hard working summer, and hey, dude, yeah, I mean, really, obviously I've used my body too, you know. I mean, I'm on the other side of 65, you know, but I'll still be like running and touching my toes and doing my martial arts. It's in me till I drop dead, you know. But people can also believe what you want to believe, but the strength within me. But I'm not ever going to turn into a whiny bitch that draws off of a male entity that isn't the father from, um, not in the flesh here. Nobody is. So he's drawing off the darkness. Have fun with that. It's not free. What the female energy gives you, what they call the great mother, that's free. And it's nothing but love and guidance and gifts. But it has to come, like for me, when I wish something for somebody, it has to be from the depths of my heart with all good intent, you know, like my prayer for him to have what he deserves. That is the biggest blessing you could give to anybody in your life. You don't ask for them to have riches or health or a home or any of that. You wish for them to get what they need, what they deserve, what's going to make their spirit grow, what's actually going to help them. Nothing else. The hell with it. That bullshit. You know? They aren't getting away with it. Sit there and say that you're inspired by the female spirit to make a song and the devil's in the ether laughing at your dumb ass. And I see these stupid people, this look comes over their face, you know. I want to talk about tarot cards here, which which I have, um I've seen what's up with that. Just wait. I do have to know everything here, you know, on the human level. So here goes. You're drawn from the darkness. The Spirit of God, the true Spirit of God. It's not the universe, it's the dark energy that will give you your desires. It's not an ability to see into the future, it's His ability to see into the future. You know, same with the Ouija board or any of that, any of it. Think what you want. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you what's up, and it's not free. That's as simple as it gets with all that shit. If a natural life and seeing your future and making plans and goals to work towards that isn't good enough for you, you're still paying for whatever mo- momentary gift you get from the dark. You'll pay for it. It is not free. Well, now if I'm used, That's way more expensive, way more. So if you're actually doing and saying and pretending in your life in areas that would take from me and give nothing back, you can pretend to give back, but it's really not. You're taking gifts that don't belong to you if it's not honored, and that you pay dearly for it, far more than Satan could ever charge you for anything, because we're dealing with um, absorption of your soul or reincarnation, not ascending. The same old, same old, same old, same old, same old life till both the mother and father are respected on this plane of existence and realize that they're not connected inside like human beings are, knowing male and female in our minds, and that is not that. They're separate and they have their own gifts. They always have been. Now, just because she came out of his thoughts into the flesh doesn't mean she didn't exist before into the flesh was invented. And then she saw him, that image, and was able to produce that through her body with that spark from him. That's a fleshly thing. So, how can people talk about spirits and entities and deities when you have no fucking clue what you're talking about? Period. And the angels that were made without sex, it does not say without gender or sexless. It just means that they were born into chastity. There's a female entity that was violated that had vowed chastity, and she was female, and she was violated. What then? Think there'd be a little anger with any violation or the people that violated her? So when people don't know what's going on and what they're talking about here, you're treading on thin ice with lack of knowledge. It's a very, very true fact. But to actually see it in full bloom and know that there's Masonic, hear their little brains behind all that shit in a live stream and talking in code with the host of the show, laughing right at this dude, laughing right at him to his face, knowing he's a pure ass liar. You know, that was a beautiful thing. Um, yeah, if I don't know that who I was watching last night will be watching this, but if you're watching this, that is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen online. Hands down. Love it. Some of you will know you've seen it and you'll know what I'm talking about. I think you some of you here are from over there and you know what I'm talking about. That was beautiful. I love that. I love when it happens. I used to do that to people, not usually women, but if I knew a man was kind of misogynistic and didn't really honor the female spirit, oh, I'd play like the devil, but not actually satanic in that respect. Because yeah, but yeah, that was so great. you know, um, supernatural is a big word. If you just think about the word natural, you know, It's not something you have to ask for or beg for. It's something that's actually there inside yourself. You access it with the spirit of our Father, the what I would call the All Father, or um, like Jason from Archaics calls the Oversoul. The Oversoul. Um, and that indicates, and he thinks, and I know too, that this is a deity outside of where we are. This is not a punishment, you know. It's horrible. I fucking hate it, but it's not a punishment, you know. If you're actually, um, if you understand the familyness of God wanting family and what a big deal family actually is, and what a big deal it is that children are being led um, out of a family-minded existence from, and that's drawing away from God, by the way, no matter what anybody thinks. I'm not saying go out and have kids if you don't want to have kids. Just like right now, I don't want another dog in my life, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want somebody dog shaming me if I don't have a dog, whatever. I only have a cat because it needed help. Otherwise, I've taken care of thousands of animals, literally tens of thousands of animals in my life. And I've had enough of that getting up before the sun and being out in freezing cold and rain and take care of them before I did myself. I've had enough of that. So, I mean, I can really understand people maybe not wanting to have a family and children. I mean, by no means, on the other hand, should somebody that does want children be shamed, you know. And the way mothers are treated on this planet, that's really messed up. Totally disrespectful, dishonored, messed up shit. I don't care if you had the crappiest mother on the planet. And some of us had some pretty awful ones that even indicated that we might have been thrown in a dumpster, but were put up for adoption instead. Like that's some blessing. In a strange way, it was. But anyway, so some of us have had some pretty horrible things give birth to us, but I still honor that thing for making me, and I do look like her, so yeah, at least she gave me something. I look somewhat like her. Somewhat. I don't go like that at people, but whatever. So, yeah. Some people just got that look about them. Well, you know, but yeah, to honor that is why the dishonor of that and the annihilation of that female is why you have the devil on your inside your head until you understand that he doesn't belong there and somebody else does. Get that. You'll get it someday. Some ion, you know. Hopefully I just awoken somebody's mind in a couple of ways here. The flesh is not the spirit, and God's capabilities of appearing in the flesh or however or wherever and whatever can't be described in a fleshly manner at all. I wish people would stop doing that. It's totally insulting to the Great Father. Absolutely insulting beyond words. let alone what people are doing to women with that bullshit, you know. But yeah, you see the Catholic Church, Judaism, and Protestants, Muslims, all they're gonna come together with their little satanic church there, you know. That's what it's all about, the one world religion. They are all one religion already, you know. Still doesn't take the Christ spirit away in us, doesn't take God out of, if God's in your heart. Whoa, or not. And doesn't take any of that away. It just that people have to realize what's been done to that and claim the scriptures back. And yes, they do need to be translated by, say, like A.C. Hillman, top of the line, ancient Greek. He's the expert on the original Septuagint. That was 1,000 years. How can you have teachings 1,000 years before the Hebrew con artists sat down in their little cave and made their little bookie book out of something that already existed, including the Christ? Yeah, I mean, I proved it here. And a lot of people, a lot of other people have proved it also. All we can do is spread that knowledge. It doesn't take it away, it just makes it much older. And it's still a reality, you know? So, so if my friend is watching this, that was a beautiful experiment. And I could absolutely love watching some more of that, especially with an audience and a host that knows what's up, that can hear me in the ether and isn't pulling any bones about it. Get it? Skull and bones, pulling your bones. When you resurrect the dead, you better be careful. That's my advice. If careful who you're calling on. You might not come out the other end the same way you went in. You know, uh, there's somebody that one crowdfunded reality is going to find out that, I mean, he's been through this before. Satan beats him up in his head and he'll come back and try and be kind again, but then it's like his life goes shitty and he gets that low vibing shit, you know. There he goes again. Psh, off the cliff like a dumb sheepy. And here's another thing, people. Lamb of God. You have a shepherd looking for that lost lamb, and you have the Lamb of God. So who's the lamb? The lamb and the shepherd are not the same person. Yeah. So, and the pirates, the kidnapper, the Laistace is going to be, well, the liar that said he was crucified is going to be crucified because fucking liar. That's about it. And it's going to happen in the ether, and it's going to happen in his many lives that he'll have to live in the future, because he doesn't want to concede to the fact that on this plane of existence, it's a two-part deal that has been interfered with. And there's been kidnappings and different things going on through the ages that they're drawing that dark energy right onto themselves. You're not using it. You don't use the good or the bad um, without paying reverence one way or another. So uh, it's a position of eminence. It doesn't mean it's free either. So people are going to learn. It doesn't matter. I mean, I care. up to about a point, but I thought it was just delightful. It was so funny. It's been all my life, I've been waiting for some retribution on the things that I know I've been through because it's my life. I've had people try to write about my life. How could somebody perceive me, you know, or the things I've been through? There's no way. There's no way somebody else can say, I know you and I could write a book about you because I know you that well. No, you couldn't. How could you possibly? That's these people out here, too, speaking about the form and the shape of God or Mr. and Mrs. You couldn't possibly conceive that in the flesh. That's why you'd like to probably have a little more higher level of intelligence. You know, and what about the people that have an IQ over 100? What about them? The scale only goes up to 100 for the average person doesn't even reach much past 60 or 80, you know, so on your IQ. So what about the ones that they're, yeah, I'll tell you what about them. Better stay away from institutes that want to take your intelligence and use it for their own, you know? Yeah, because that's what they would try to do with people's hard work is just say, "Oh, it's mine now." Oh, no, it's not. So, okay, everybody, I do appreciate you joining me. I hope some of you had experienced what I saw last night too. Like I said, was a delightful thing to see, and I think I'm going to be delighted. In fact, I know I am going to be um, much more readily, a lot more often. So, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.